Here are 12 Valheim tips for 2022 that I wish I knew earlier. The game has gotten several updates since it came out over a year ago, so I felt it needed a new guide for 2022. So let's go. Oh, I wish I knew this first tip earlier. Death is a part of life in Valheim. You're going to die a lot, and that's actually fine, because when you die, you will lose your gear, but it will be placed in a gravestone where you died, and you can just get it back at any point in your playthrough. It doesn't have to be in 10 minutes, it doesn't have to be in half an hour. It will stay there permanently until you retrieve your gear. The devs are very forgiving in this game, and they are fair. The next thing I wish clicked in my head quicker when I was starting off in Valheim was that preparation is rewarded so much in this game. And here are a couple extra tips as to how you can prepare really well in the early game. One of the easiest buffs you can get in the game is called the rested buff. It gives you 50% extra health regeneration, 100% extra stamina regeneration, and 50% more XP gain. And all you have to do is build a freaking fire. Slap a fire down wherever you are in the game, it doesn't matter, and just stand still. I usually sit down. It is a great way of getting the easiest buff in the game. The next tip is kind of a well-known tip, but it's still really important. Get bronze fast. Put some leather armor on and go searching in the Black Forest for burial tombs. In these you'll find these weird red cubes called circling cores. They will allow you to build a smelter and a charcoal kiln. You'll need that. Then go find the tutorial boss Ektir. He's a big ass electric deer, very easy to kill. All you need is a shield and a flint axe. Summon him with deer trophies. You can get those from killing deer. Murder a load of deer. He drops antler, and you can make your first pickaxe with that. You can then go into the Black Forest and mine two things. 1, copper deposit, and 2, tin deposit. Copper deposits are found in the middle of the biome. Tin deposits are found along the shoreline of the Black Forest. Slap that tin and copper together in a forge. Next thing you know, you have bronze. My irrational fear of death in my first playthrough and my lack of preparation made me really hesitant to get the bronze, but just go and do it. You'll thank me later. The next thing I wish I knew was that potions are OP in this game. They will help you so much. You can make basic health and stamina potions with things you can find very easily in the meadows and the Black Forest. You'll need to build a cauldron to make the mead base, and then you need to build a fermenter to actually make the potions. Those things take tin and bronze, but you know how to make those. The next thing I will say, farm early. You can farm boar in this game to make unlimited amounts of meat and leather scraps. Enclose more than 2 boar in a pen, throw in some raspberries, and just go away. Let them tame. Once they're tame, then they'll start making lovely boar babies. You can also farm carrots. You get carrot seeds in the Black Forest. They're very easy to find. Little white flowers. Go pick them up. Then using a cultivator, which you make with, again, bronze. There's a theme here. Cultivate a plot of land near your base, and you can plant those carrot seeds. That and a couple other basic ingredients makes carrot soup, which is really good early game food. And beehives. You will see beehives on your starter island in already built structures. Go break those with a bow and arrow, wait a minute, and then pick up the queen bee. You can build unlimited honey with that. Now some combat tips I wish I knew. First thing, parrying with your shield is super OP. You can do this with the normal shields, which are different to tower shields, and all you have to do is just before an enemy attack hits you, raise your shield and it'll send them flying back with a stagger. When they're staggered, you do extra damage to them as well. With the appropriate gear for the biome you're in, you'll be able to parry most mobs the same size as you. The slightly bigger ones like trolls and abominations, they're harder to parry I would use this other combat tip instead with those. This game has a dodge roll and it's extremely effective. Hold your shield up with your right mouse, move in the direction you want to roll, and then hit the spacebar, and then you'll do the roll. If none of that's working for you, then actually I found that just pressing R and sheathing your weapon in the middle of combat and just running away from the attack is actually a really effective way of not taking damage. This tactic is most effective against those larger mobs and bosses as well. I barely used any of these combat tactics in my first playthrough and I suffered for it. Some final tips I wish I knew about building. You'll notice when it rains your building gets damaged, but don't freak out, it can only get damaged to 50%. And similarly, don't worry too much about mobs attacking your base, they're not going to break your base as much as you think they will. But if you're super paranoid like me, build a deep trench with the pickaxe you got from Iktir, and now you're safe. Preparation and planning before building can actually make your building so much better. So the first thing to do is to level the ground, make it extremely flat. There's a stability system in this game and you can only build so high with certain build pieces. So level the ground and make sure everything on the bottom is blue. This means your foundation is solid. Another thing I never did in my first playthrough with building, build an outline of your building with wood before you actually build it. And this blueprint will help you so much with symmetry and making the structure as perfect as you wanted it to be. My final tip I wish I knew in my first playthrough. This is a survival sandbox game. It's not meant to be rushed. Take in this beautiful game that Iron Gate have crafted. This game is really about the journey, not the destination at all. Please give me a like if you enjoyed this video and consider subscribing to my budding young channel. My name's Jelly, I play Valheim and I make Valheim videos all the time on YouTube. As we say in Ireland, Gormila Mahagat. See you in the next one.